Good morning, folks. It's 5 a.m. and it's 7 day 2023 and a 2023 adds up to a 7 as well. It's a 777. These are your 3-day totals. I'm doing video a little bit different. I'm extremely unhappy. And with the streaming quality, as you can see, I see a fairly clear screen here, right? So the video quality going out is not up to par at all. It's being scrambled somehow. So the tower is, I pretty much made a decision this morning. It's got to go. It's a piece of equipment. Yeah, sure, I built it. I used it. Sentiment ain't involved when it comes to a piece of equipment that's letting us down. You hear the word I use there? Us. So these are some of the 3-day totals that are to be expected. And do you have time to react to this? You absolutely do. Do you hear the calm tone of my voice? Right? And to try to get the twos, right? I go down to Icon, and they say in the next 24 hours. And so you're about to experience the eminent front. It's so early in the morning. Somebody decided to go and fishing at 3 a.m. for them is extremely important. Yes. And so, well, now I know I could slide around in my chair as I want. And so it looks nice too. So here we go through it. Oh my gosh. On a 777 days, randomly perhaps the devilish weather. So I have, before I went for my morning coffee outside, had loaded it all. So this should be very current. So let's have a look at what's to be expected. I don't know, it's still early in the morning. My coffee is second one's still brewing over here. So this is, it says Tuesday 11. So I'm going to run it through now. The mystery of it all. See, I just turned it on and left the room. So I have to really, I've got a very narrow band that I can show as far as of my screen. But it's better than out. The little lines there are just interference from my camera's autofocus, frame rates, things like that. So watch that go through while I wring out my coffee bag. I don't know about you, but black coffee matters. Right. Gotta have it. Right, here we go. Slides things on his desk, moves this over to here. Here, the squeak is at the keyboard of infamy, where I'll do the boom boom and the plums, and I don't even know what I'm gonna say. Is this the day I turn it on and see no chemtrails? This is my fondest manifest. That'll be the most tearful broadcast I ever do. And when I saw it, we did it. So you have storms coming for 2 directions, evidently. We're going to have a splow flat. And so I'll definitely be popping Mimic up and to have a look at what beam is going to occur. When you see a split like that, there's a lot of local Nexrad involved in it. And well, it just happens to be a line through here. Then I have a known station over here. So let's continue to roll this in. As we go into Sunday, is my time that you'll be seeing come up on the screen here finally, because the cursor was cursing over here where my thumb is pointing. Now you see why I used the hand. You can get really specific. You see that middle finger? Yeah, well, them background pictures in progress. That's what we got here. Is it's for anybody else that doesn't understand. I mostly use Facebook. Right, you get the pinch move. So they're keeping EMF held off you. You're getting 2 bands, and then coming on Monday, I'll switch over to a different graphic. Ooh, and they said the whole time it was going to be this. I don't want to leave you out of my loop of my determinants. And man, I'm going to confuse Higgins and all the local people that make money off your updates. And for the storms you're about to get the next few hours, it's going to be very, very fierce in some spots. It'll be quite pleasant to look at when you see the snowflakes in some places coming down, and Fjordland's coming up. This is a smackaroo. This is where I'm more worried, because you're getting up and around again, right? So that'll be EMF here, but they have to let enough flow through to feed this. So this is going to be a very interesting day. So let's put on the particulate information thing here, and so we can see. You see how there's no wind here? Right, there's nothing from flow from this side of Cook Strait to that side. That's telling me they're going to beam. It's a heated flow. Something shoots up. Boom. Could be even a Christchurch one. Very easy to beam that up or down. Or multiple stations. Keeping it hot in Wellington area between here. Right? It's a geoengineering move that happens a lot. You see why I turned all these particles off? Because it just makes it look more dramatic. But for illustration purposes of my point, I did say that. Hey, I could do it like this, but you don't want to see my more than me. Right, you get the island, right? You get wind, you get a gap. All right, by that gap, I can either feed a storm coming in to help blow up the caps, or hold it off if enough wind is there, depending on what layer I decide to wind. I can have a whole bank of wind for thousands of feet. I could just use just the sea level one for stirring mixes up. But if holding it off means that the storm, instead of feeding through, because it would get a natural flow, have a feed in it, which also gives a little suction to the top, because you'll have toroid fields involved. Right, a toroid field. I don't know if I have my example here. Well, I'm not going to go find it. I'll prepare for that later, but everything moves in energy and toroid fields. It just do, even your body energy fields. So as this moves, as we look at flows that way as well, beams will have a certain shape to them, and depending upon polarity of electrics, you can create positive and negative flows, which is also manifests in what direction things will spin. As a byproduct of the electrical flow will be a wind. So I'm going to take you right back. I'm going to show you some more of this stuff here. I'm telling you, she's streaming fine here. It's just the signal leaving ain't having it. So that's it. That blue text over it last night. It's been making me feel sick. And look at this here. Back up and around. That moisture that was here before has come all the way back to haunt you. And they're going to move that in a lateral flow with a beam. So let's see if there's any manipulating going on with Mimic. So you're going to get a bit of a... I don't like the flashing lights on you guys. So... gotta find the link. Let's put everything in mind for that light. Too early to jump in the shower. Everybody wake up. How much noise this dude made going fishing in my life. Right, how am I going to show you this? Let's see if you can show it on the screen yet. Right, there's New Zealand. When I got the controls, right. I'm one of them screens where I go like that and it zooms up. Scraping stickers this morning again. We get here. See these lines here. I'm not going to do it this way. Wahaha. Now you see why I want to touch me. I used one somewhere to ruin me. Right. We get some very distinct lines here in the precipitable moisture. I don't want it to do the gem piece. See? The right point, right at Blenheim. So we got a heated line here. That's cooked the straits right there. That heated line is going to be very wide. Forward, forward, forward. It's being held. I'm going to go back to let it roll. I'm looking up here now at this square over Fiji. Let's see if I can turn the camera around. I'm over here now. See this square forming over the top of Fiji? Watch. They got a big device there. I've never seen it. But his signature is all over the river of moisture. All year long. El Nino in you. With an El Grande lie about weather manipulation. You got another beam line coming up through here, through the main river. It's going to block this up. It's come from way north in a V shape like this. That's going to curve that back around holding that up. Where if they send the flows correct and bring that through, most of the weather fans have a tendril that's going to come down through here and kick that back around as this comes up and over down here. Right, so now we're back over into Northern New Zealand territory. Hang on, let me see if we can get you back into frame here. So you're shooting off here. You're shooting off straight up here. You're shooting off a beam down here. Wham, wham, which is a more subtle one. It'll be harsher up there. So what we get going on now for today is also going to affect Australia. Now I'm going to bring you guys into the picture, but you guys are getting some nice relief up that way in the far north and enjoy it. However, well, tropical rain still happens in the peninsulas. The only place that's really going to get the old schmackaroos are from about here, through here, and here. And mostly anything that sticks out to the flows from the west toward the east is going to get the schmackaroos. Right? Right here, the thing is just wet now. You got full moisture right over the top. So you imagine the storms are going to be quite violent when they come through, because I can see the bands and the disturbances now showing up as these straight lines you see in a mimic. See that lighter blue suddenly appears like an eyebrow looking thing? It's a beam sweat. Inside the river moisture suddenly moving the condensates. It's usually it blasts particles apart so they don't reflect as big a droplet back up to the satellites that do the reading of if all this fella's rain at once. That's what this is. This thing. This graph and colors represent. You know, to learn your mimic yourself, and that's what this is known as. And there's ways I can watch it. I can even import the animated GIFs and all sorts to various niches up here. And at some point, when I get the clean screen, I'll do some more explainings. But reading a document was hard. You also have a blaster over here that I know of for sure. And I'll see if I can get you on screen here. Over New Caledonia area in Vanuatu, and it's a big base. It's been all blurred out of Google Earth. So a lot of the imagery I used to be able to show very clearly 10 years ago is no longer so. It has been remastered. The master says a no seeing for you. Notsee. And you'll hear me use the word not see a lot. And that's how I spell it. Right, back to you. I know your highest earthquake risk really is right in here, which is never good. Because if it rumbles here, it causes lots of slides down in the trench, which did cause deep earthquakes, and they're usually fairly large. And with the moon position the way it is, the possibilities of hitting the 5s and 6s in the quake zone will not surprise me at all. But when I see beams like this up here, it sends more of a reverb into the port chip, as I call the Fiji mount. That's all underwater. It's the shape, and it's a different hardness than the rest of the mantle. It almost acts like a tuning fork. And if that thing starts jumping up and down, boom, 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 here, you'll quake here. You'll quake here. The quake risk between here and here is extremely high because of the direction of the sweep of the beam and the natural etheric wave. You ain't pointing. I can't quite show you guys where I'm pointing. The highest quake risks is right around here where I'm pointing, between Tonga and Fiji. The localized right here where I'm pointing. You see where I'm pointing there? Yeah. Right here. And I'm concerned about it. There's a lot of big device intersection beams here. This one here is most likely a ship. See it? Then you got a square one here. You've very, very high risk for quake, and it's close to shore too. Right where I'm pointing. See where the pointer is? Then see square. See the intersecting waveforms? Never good, man. Right? Peaks and troughs of waveforms. You're going to learn this. Right? Surfers will know this. You will know this. Absolutely. Because the waves will add peak to each other if they intersect. If one wave goes under another and they're the exact same height, the wave will cancel out. When the exact same height, but they oppose each other like this one comes, then that one comes, forget it. It's gone. Reciprocates. The negative and the positives will be opposite. Gone. Right? With waveforms of manipulating vibration. Dun, dun, dun. Get it? Just nod your head. That's the quickest way I can explain it to you. Okay? It'll be a lot of schmancy people going, damn, he brought that home. Where's he going with this? So I'm going to try to mimic I really don't have to. I told you, streaming like a fucking champ. That's what I don't understand. I'm going to have to find a way to bring you guys in the screen. How we do it with the Zoom? All right, now, Adelaide, we're right into you. Bzzzt. Fryer was that. I hadn't quite loaded that screen fully, so you get to it. Watch the great majesty of it all as I go into the super zoomed layers of the pictures of the clouds of the weather show for today. And I can read your comments to us while you're doing it. Summer Rojas says, hey, she's watching me. I don't know, I'll jump the comment jump. How you doing, Diana and Linda, Natalie and Jay, and Rojas almost like the name Aloha. And on the name of Higgins, it's not quite the one that loves my free focus. And we got, I can't get your comment to stay up. What's up with that? Bongo. On good day, Paula Fenn. Yeah, test drove those stickers out there. Now we want a big square one that just says the voice in it. Fuck the voice. Fuck giving all your rights away. Is anybody from the indigenous parties of Australia very familiar with the voice yet? Let me tell you plain. White men use brown paint on head and speak for you. There you go. That sums it up as far as I'm concerned. Right, right. Well, I used to say the white man speaks with forked tongue in the country I come from. Wow, look at all the chem bombs going off out here, huh? Do you know where we are yet? No, I just drifted right off from New Zealand. Yeah, you guys get one of my 5 a.m. shows. Oh my God, 5 a.m. Chem bomb here, chem bomb there. Did you push too hard over there? It looks like really, man. This is like Biden's underwear. On curry night. Bongo like beans. Look at all these chem bombs right in a row. Boom, 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 boom. Streamer knife with a predictable gap. It's like somebody hold up something in a straight line and did it very purposely while underneath it. Squares, squares, squares. Streamer enough. Then on the low deck, you have a different type deployment. Bomb, 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 bomb. Let's watch this area here, because you can see the shape charge pushing outwards in that layer, while underneath it is a square of something else. And you get a lot of monkey business going on there. Let that image get clear. Monkey business and shenanigans. From the nanny state, you can expect shenanigans again and again and again from the shenanigan state. They're coming for your house. But I imagine that voice party will give you permission to live in their new stack in black plantations. I mean, cities. Or maybe I can go out. Maybe I can't. Electronic locks. Malfunctions. So sorry. Stay to your room. Really, man, even at our age, we're going to be sent to our rooms. Oh, we already were for 2 years over a mandate. Right from mandates to Pride Month. What can you think about that? I ain't very proud of some of the behavior I've been seeing. Look at that number 3 in the sky. That's not a naturally occurring cloud formation. The robe. Look at that bomb. Tendriling off the big shiza in the sky. I'm looking up at the shiza in the skies. If I say shit, someone gets tears in their eyes. The fucking cunt. And, oh my God, look at Ballarat over here. Look at the bombs, man. This is the ocean. Fish live here. Would you spray pesticide over your fish tank? Would you put toxic nano aluminum over your fish tank? Strunk him and bury him and let it just settle into the water. Well, what do you think will be happening? I think we'll be finding a lot of Nemos on the shore myself. As I go over here off Smithtown, Stanley. How you doing, Stanley? Stanley? Ooh, now we'll jump back 10 minutes. Oh, we get the quad formation of the bombers, right? Dissipating not. Yeah, it's still there. It's streamered off into something else. Did you see how much space a firework could take up all at once? Let me see if we can find this. Let's see, find this video. You gotta see this. You gotta see how much sky can be covered all with just one shell. I'm talking, all they gotta do is, and a lot of the crackling is rice grains covered in chemicals. Real quick. And it'll determine certain colors, and the smoke left behind is it. And I may even use this to go over some fireworks. You got your basic forecast for today anyhow. Have a nice day. Go get ready if you're down in one of those areas. It's the time to turn off your Facebook and deal with your family. No more toilet type and get with the kid, man. You're going to have one of those bum shapes that looks like the toilet seat. I see that an ass is walking by. It's like, you must spend a lot of time on the phone in the toilet because you don't trust your conversations to be seen by everybody. Or maybe you're the untrustable hiding, cheating in the bathroom, having one of those affairs on your spouse. So let me find this for you. That's right. The shoulder to cry on is a boner to ride on. Dude's the man friend. No. All right, I'm going to find this video and get it loaded up. This firework amazed me. Here it is. It absolutely blew my mind. Look at this. Look how much sky that could be covered in one shell. I'm going to find a way to get this thing. Now, this is like over a city. It needed the whole sky all at once. All at fucking once. Boy, am I holding my phone for me. Hey, watch this. I'll just do it like this. Look, watch this. It blows up the whole sky all at once from one firework. I went, wow. One shell goes up, and I wished it many times. Then it deploys, shoots off more. Then that deploys, shoots off more. And then, holy shit, did they chem bomb that sky? Yeah. That shit amazed me. How quickly they can make that happen. Happen. So back to your weather. And boy, do I get it in the center of the screen now. Welcome to my morning. 5 a.m. fucking. To hell with all this wait an hour to all these determinants. You guys see how long it takes me. Isn't that amazing? How much firework can be covered the sky? As Sandra White says, I had a laugh last night. I came in to catch the tail end of the nose. She was showing those wispy streaks and calling them horse tails. Oh, yeah, they call those mare's tails. Yeah, from an old mare. What town was this in? Let's see if we can see some of them. I'll find you some mare's tails. Mare's tails can actually happen naturally. Jeez, Jesus Christ. What did that camera see? I mean, I really got to do some maneuvering to get you guys to show tonight. This is a fisheye view. Oh, this is where the big dish is. See the fryer right there? Zzz. Hello, Neil and Buzz. I'm calling you today from the Oval War Room at the Lighthouse. We have a big square right over the top of it. It's kind of an indication of some kind of scalar interference going on or experimentation going on from the big dish. Let's frying you. Here's evidence of a frying right over the top of your dish over there. Where are we at there? Parks? I thought that was the Parks. Parks is a different one. Well, you get your fryers there, huh? We find some mare's tails. Let's see what's which one do you want first? Come on, people, type to me. Is this one of those? Yeah, suppose they gotta explain. Oh yeah, there is a natural way these clouds occur. I'll never argue that that's not correct. What I will say is that I believe the conditions that make natural clouds are being reproduced by man, and that is called geoengineering. Right, there's where we get into the differences, the manipulation of the man-made system, like with these waveforms here around the Adelaide area, and that big bomb, and that square hazed out area with the dots and the dots. bombing it out. And these waveforms don't go away. They're right there all the time until some kind of particles go in it that it can excite. That'll become a bit hotter than the atmosphere around, and then it condenses a moisture droplet on the outside of itself. Right? And then those little clouds, those cirrus clouds, that then form. But these cirrus clouds ain't up on this seriously high deck anymore like they used to be. Because above them is the bombs with the chemical catalysts. And to help propagate the waveforms, poison society, ruin your crops, steal your sunlight, and in general make little girls get paid to say, how dare you. Something came along in a zipper line here and deployed. And they're going to get karma sutures for doing these kind of sutures over Mother Earth and our forests and the beautiful lands. In the dot of that quadrant right there. See it? I'll zoom in a little bit more. This is forest. This is the trough that's about to get very cold. You're about to get a blast come all the way down there, well past coughs. Have you been told this yet? And just to put you to nitty-gritty cities, and you see where I'm talking about. And Stanthorpe, they can easily drought you guys out here quick. They've proven that before. Where all your water runs out. You ain't going to want to be pumping it from the ground after they frack up that whole place over there and ruin that too. But you'll always be able to light a cigarette from under your tap water. Like they do in the fracking fields of the States. How you doing there, Kate Byron? Shall we roll a little tape here for you? Roll the tape. A lot of EMF waveform there too. You see how those clouds just stays in place. Right? That particular cloud's always forming in that spot. Bzzz, getting fried. Getting fried is what that says to me. It means you're getting fried. Microwaving the forest and the people in his... You are the experiment. They'll figure out, oh, that did that. Ooh, we better dial that down. Why? When people drop or something. You can see the pulsating waveform come through. So you measure that gap here, and you'll just see how ultra low frequency they're using. Because it's a predictable gap. Manipulating the massive microwaves themselves, which changes the curves of the condensates. See it? Scone. It's not jam on a scone at all. It would be toe jam. Look at it, got a Nazi symbol drawn right here. Right there in your sky. Right before your eyes. In that mess. What you say is just plasma. You're lying. Or you need to open your mind and realize that many people can be correct. Yes, it forms a plasma. But you see the bomb going off here? Right there. Boom. Circle gets the square there. Oh, gee. It's like they wrote the word gone. And it's what the forest will be if we don't stop the indiscriminate use of technologies that were not put here by Mother Earth. Mother Earth gave us free energy. It's there. The technology is known about and hidden because you can't put a meter on it and send you a bill. And that's what seems to be the whole Morgan way of thinking. Dot, mighty triangular there, but 3 dots will form a triangle, of course. Isosceles, but in such an obtuse situation as we have going on here. Did you see the 2 directions of flow? Something went off, went up and down. See if I can let go of that now. And made a bomb field. Then triple shed deployed all at once. When it's all at once like that in a triangle, it's obvious. All at once, a triangle appears. Now it's too big to be the TRB. So you have had a chemical catalyst deployment. You see just a little bit of the shock wave coming out in front of that. And then 10 minutes later, another triangle deployment over here. Triangulating in on Sydney. Something is deploying there. And then continual bombing over here. There's 3 6s in the sky and a 777 angelic die. Or I'm going to run 777 hertz through my harmonizers today. Won't you join my song? Won't you join my song? Join my song, join my song. The sky looks like a dirty thong with a strap. Then right up the crack. It does. Look, there's the strap right up the crack going over to Mount Gambier radar station here. Wham, and a big old boom by Haywood. I think the coffee's kicking in with a big old strap up the crack. And who gets to smell it? Who gets to see it? Who has to deal with the Lake de la Muerte? We do. And all the fish that are in it. If they knew, if they could understand my broadcast, you wouldn't be able to put a toe in the ocean. Look at this deployment field of crap over here near the Ballerina and Mount Ararat. He's get the full flood going over the top of it of chemtrails. Chemtrail, 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 dot, 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 chemtrail, bomb, boom, and up your six. With the chem bomb slicked. Really, that's what I'm going to start calling those chembos. It's a fucking chem slick in the sky. When the skies look all oily, it's a freaking chem slick. Okay, we have a straight line of energy has been deployed straight out in that direction where it caused a gap in the clouds. Had to continually form for hundreds of miles. Hundreds of miles. You've been put up. Sale for sale. They even tell you your country's for sale. Boom, 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 right there. Continual deployments in one spot means you've got a stationary platform up there dropping bombs down into one spot. Just like, Kyle at the Kambamba Kyle at the Kambamba there, and they need more toxic air over there. Because, man, asthma cells. Look at this big hook-nosed creature thing. Was that a new politician coming to town? Penhokey holes. Mare's tails. Yeah, they reproduced these clouds. And don't ever tell me these clouds are fake or the sky is fake. No. The conditions to make those happen are reproduced by man. See that geometric formation there? Very geometric. See, I'm over here. I've only got a small quadrant on my screen that I'm showing. There's another bomb goes off and by. Well, you can get something very high up and lob them down into one spot. These ain't going flat. Some of this is drifting off. Some is down, depending on the dynamics needed by the geoengineers to create the weather event that's wanted. The fright of it all. The whole fry of it all. New Zealand, they didn't leave you out of the picture, but boy, if I got to do some changing of how I'm going to show my screen to get you on. Okay, so give me a moment here. Okay, let's see what we can do. Does the bend. Like the most Mr. Bend over here. Alright, let's get New Zealand on the screen somehow here. Fungal. It's really not cooperating. How about that? How about that now? A little bit out, a little bit in, out, in, out. Then I'll show you the weather radar, which is nearly non-existent for your country because they don't think you should know the weather at all. Take that down a notch. Right, New Zealand, here we are. We got you on screen. We got, Dan sure got you on screen now, Jack. How about I do that? Right. Straight line going off of clouds, straight off. I'm going to just go right through here. We'll look at the waveforms. We'll look at the combinations of it all. I'll turn and let you look at I need to go have a shower face. When it is morning, I guess, excuse. Right, it's boiling hot here. Convergence zone, right? As they're walking it down, splitting the flow. It's almost dizzying. Look at the waveform blowing out the ocean low deck in front of this. That can occur naturally from convections of this coming over and the shadows of the cam itself from this way creating a flow. And in the evening when the sun goes down, the wind shifts. And there's evidence of wind shift. And here's evidence of it taking a shift in the sky. Look at the crap blowing over the top here. All right, let's start down here in this protected area where there's lots of penguins, fjordlands, beautiful pristine lakes. Right, we're going to go right in and see if it lets me have one more click. One more click. All right, let's roll this through the past 4 hours tape. And let's have a good look here. All right, there's some bombs been deployed. I'm going to get you right there. I can really control the screen. That's a very geometric formation there. Right, two directions of flow. They just go in this way and that in the same spot of sky. There's just like a real tornadic looking thing going by there. And a square over there. What is it? Just here. Might help with the clarity of the imagery. See if there's any other comments. I'm looking. It's a very not naturally occurring cloud formation. Look to the sky there. Now we're looking over here. All right, I got bomb, 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 bomb. Another group of bombs here been deployed. See? Those two dots. Firework been shot off. Triple shot right there. Just simultaneously in a triangular formation that's nearly equilateral. While a chemtrail has appeared. Some of these gaps will be natural cloud formations that occur in the gaps between glaciers and mountain valleys. You'll end up with certain flows that will naturally occur in these, and I expect them, and those are more toward the Christchurch side of things. Lots of bomb deployments down here over these poor penguins. And with these storms coming of man-made nature, it's not very healthy for their lives at all. I'll need to zoom up here to more populated areas. It's not a very friendly face looking in the clouds there, is it? Or is it the hawk? It actually looks like a star. Like streamers that way, that way, that way, that way, and that way. With 5 dots here and 5 dots there. Like one thing was deployed that deployed other things. Like the firework I showed you earlier on. Triple shots. You want some shots in it? No, thank you. Shots. And if you can't see the sky because it's all hazed out, you won't see what's going on above you. But you can't disguise your lies in the sky when it falls out. Oh yeah, big square with all these chem bombs around it, and another square. Boom, 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 you. Mr. Chem Bomb Man. It's got more 6s on it than Damien's head. And it's an omen. Not some very healthy things to come. Oops, excuse me. What's this coming? My #1 stalker. I'm going to hold you to that. Single man. Really, I can't even find a girlfriend yet online because of the rumor mill. I'm the most faithful dude you'd ever want. And the most rumored dude. I want all that life you guys think I have. Where am I like? Lately, I'm not feeling my forecasts are even of value. We're only 800 people getting a warning, and they said, heads up New Zealand. Okay, I'm going to do this anyhow, just to spite you. Longer, harder, and better. Now, I'll make it work. I told you, I always find a way, but I'm not. This is going to really gobble my data up. Hard. Very hard. And like eye in the sky blowing up off the top. What is wrong with people not noticing? You know why they don't notice, and it's easy to do. You just did it a little at a time over years and years and years until before you know it, it became what you got used to see it. With the mare's tails every day. Every day you get the halo over the moon. Every day you get the burning eyes and coughing, sneezing because the planes flew over your house, or a balloon that you couldn't see with some kind of a screen cloaking on the bottom of it, so you can't determine it's there. It's decided to blow out something that looked like a Eucharist in the sky here. It even has the crisscross. And it's far from holy, other than holy moly. And there's bombs over here, the 6s over here in the straight. It's just as obvious. It's not the lucky clover, man. Not from Mother Earth. When I go over here to the fucking Tunny, I see this chemtrail, streaming up. These are all pointing at a spot. Look, it's pointing at it. That one's pointing straight line, that points in a straight line. If you like a straight line to point at, and it's all, the guilt is here in the center of this big square. Or a square here and here, so they also have energy emitters on these as well. or work conjunction with the chem bombs, the controls of the radar are all done by D-Wave computer. There's no way there's a guy with a switch in there who turned it on and off. Ha ha ha. It's too complicated. Only Stewie from Family Guy could do that. That was a cartoon. Guy with the mad weather machine, funded by billionaires. It's always like that. Funded by billionaires. Belinda Gates Foundation with Bill over there. And who gets the bill for the illnesses? And who gets the profit for the cures that never seem to cure? There are no curing wards in hospitals, just treatment wards. It will put you in a bed. How many beds do we got? It's also impersonal. As they wave it on and on and on. Now let's get some raiders going over here. Alright, let's get it back. I don't like flashing lights on screens because you have epileptic people out there who have great difficulty with that. And I try to be sensitive to certain needs. Now, if you say you're a boy and you got a vagina, I'll never mollycoddle that. You be what you want to be walking around. I'll make sure you don't get bullied for it. Why don't you bully me for not going along with that? Right? That's what that's all about. It's got some action here with a beam going on over Mount Gambier. Easily to spot. Those lines right there just pointing right at the radar station. Right on Mount Gambier. But that took a jump, didn't it? I always watch the numbers and see if any of the minutes are missing. And you got predictable jumps of 5 minutes. It should stay that way. So this station's beaming as the storm's coming through. See a bit of evidence of it. A bit of its blastings going in that direction as well. Really nice to see no real huge storms going on up here. A bit of evidence of the radar on over the road here near Richmond. See the fuzzies? See the fuzzies? Which is just creating a heated outflow. And it's needed to make sure this flow never meets this flow. Because if that ever happened, it'll screw up the storms that get pinned down here. Pressures would change. And you can expect some action down here over the coming days. See if we can see a bit of your sky here. Oh, it looks like shit. Yeah, I saw it and you didn't. And this is kind of what you want to see. Right where you get this. Beautiful beaches. People falling in love, being able to hold hands again over here in the corner. You just can't see it. I can't. You can't see it. It's just not happening. Not happening. Maybe you can see it if I do this. You know, when people could fall in love again and look out at the waters. Ain't that pretty? But really, it's a nice day for them to have. And I don't envy you at all. I just am happy you get to have stuff like that. So really, it's very quiet on the radars right now. Other than in New Zealand. In New Zealand, they only think you should get an image in once in a while. Right? Your radar is so shitty. It is. It's terrible. It is the hardest one to read, so I have to go with the chem. Look at these V shapes, all pointing towards our known radar area of Auckland. All the stores just happen to be nucleating and lines pointing at the radar station. Look at this square form to this here. It's like a staple. Or is it an apron with an M on it? I can't quite tell. Montague. Montaciousnesses. Oh, we got here. It's not quite the Kia Kaha I want to see, but it's Kia Kohihihi. Michael Jackson would move to Kaha. Kia Kaha, man, we don't get this shit all together, then we're never, ever going to be together. Right? Because togetherness requires getting together. And saying, well, that don't matter as much as this matters because I think the air that we breathe is the biggest thing we all have in common. Right? You have to have that. It's one of those things you have to have it. Oh, I'm going to just move that along. And figure it out. This is horrendousness. It's absolute horrendousness. Your area is so fucked up. And you should see yourselves on the tens. And you should say, just see yourselves on the tens. It's, oh my gosh. Again. Hooray from the tens. Wah, 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 wah. Ouch. Right? Now you got mustard and ketchup on the West Coast. This is the ones that bother me the most. Is when they hit the top of this range here. They get a dual flow. Hey, so they can send water this way and this way all in one shed. And who gets it around here? Foxton, Palmerston North. Actually, Palmerston North needs a lot more freedom to it. Isn't that beautiful? You get plenty of flow through there. Let's see what happened in your sky today. Could they disguise their lies in the sky here? Where the temperature was 9 degrees C. And the pressure was released. A wind gust of 14. That's a bomb right over the top here, right there. Look. See, that direction, that direction, that direction of the wind flows. Dot, 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 dot. And even in that there, you could just see the squares and the dots of the chem bombs. The straightnesses, the lines, the squares. See it? Those are chem bombs. Right above the mist. The long white chem cloud. Big straight line there and there. How many directions of the wind did you have blowing here today, Palmerston North? Because this is indicative of a chemical attack or geoengineering in an area of predicted inundation. Imminent inundations, I should say. Because, you got, that's an event. Will any of this be new snow? No. Was there any new snow up there? It's going to melt. And if it melts, that's runoff. It's nice to see winter is occurring still. I'm going to keep pointing that out. Winter is occurring still. Temperatures should be cold in winter time. It's indicative. Mr. Fart. Mr. Fart is doing the chem bombs over the toppy, over the hee hee. Caca. I want to take a caca into caca and say ta. Somebody for using their toilet. Heads rock. There where he stood and he saluted everybody after he had to apologize. You look like you got a little distance of snow coming up through these ranges here, or to beautify your pictures that you take here on Tuesdays. Yeah, I'm going through the wind doldrum. Not too bad. Better. Dull. Very, very dull. You don't want to be out there on your walker that day, that's for sure. Pac-Man will eat you right up. Waka, 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 waka. Boop, boop. Yeah, you got some very, very high winds actually to be expected out to sea when some of these are coming over, and don't find yourself out here. Avoid this area here. The waves, the wind, this will be a toppler. And if you do something like that and tip your boat over and you spill a bunch of your petrol and crap in the ocean, I'm going to be pissed off at you. So don't risk it with stupidnesses. I've rolled the weather plan. I've shown you everything I care to show. I'd love to show you what's catching with their pants down. They have no idea I'm about to load this. I hadn't even had an inkling that I was going to do this. Oh my. Look at the chem bombs over Cook Street. They didn't expect me this morning. Let's let that image clear up. This is horrendous, isn't it? Chem bomb, chem bomb, chem bomb, chem bomb. These are just showing you just what I showed you. Look at the triple shot right here. Boom, 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 boom. Chemtrails everywhere. Lots of chem bombs. There's a fuel in the front of the front. Propagates the waveform real good that they need to keep this bottlenecked. Look at this formation here. What? Quake much? Did you get anything small here? Right about here, because that circle there is the release point. Hem it, hem it, hem it. Easiest place for the wave to go is out that direction. I'm very curious. I'll check after the show. Some of this is frozen stuff, and some of this is chem crap. Some of it's the land. So you would go back a day and look. Was it there? Yes, still is. See, that's like snows and things like that. Yeah, settled in valleys. But that ain't. Just square form to it. The chemtrails are very, very real, New Zealand. It's litigated. And that's the worst part about it is they call it an experiment that's proposed. But yet the evidence of the experiment being ongoing has been visible before your eyes for a long time. Even something coming out here and doing a curve and leaving the cloud. Those ain't ice cubes flowing around, which I sometimes see in the Arctic regions, which very often you can pick up, let's say, like over Hudson Bay or up here, where some of your ice flows. Wow, look at the smoke from the fires. It's made it all the way to Alaska. You often see ice flows in winter time, showing stuff like that. Like, I didn't mean to do that. Ice flows like that. Those will be ice flows on the water. You have to know these things. But you also have to know that over the top of that is a shit stripe of chem going over the top. So Canada's hard to read because of all the snows and stuff. You have to know. You have to think about it critically. So a lot of the fire smoke's been held off of England and Europe, thank you, because the princes and princesses are growing up now. And we don't want them breathing the land grab. Oh, we had chem something here has been edited out of the feed. It's not just a random bad pixel. Look at how it's refracted. They never ever been able to get that kind of dots out with refracting the light. It would have been deploying something that was refracting light. Yeah, I was shown that they did that at 9/11 as well. Many times I've showed things. See the chemtrails, Canada, inside the smoke. You're very welcome, Sandra Wise. If anybody finds my work of value, you could support it at paypal.me/Robert Deutsch. And I need the help. You see with this computer that's streaming this fast, I'm scrapping it because it won't stream it to you guys. And it's dissing my ease. See all the squares and stuff out here, Canada? In and out, so it might, if it breaks up, just excuse me, because the morning traffic is starting, which always disturbs the signal. I'm expecting that. And here's to the chem bombs in Toledo, Ohio. That's where the Wright brothers made bicycles and made the engine for the planes that led to this shit over the top is. Lake Ontario is getting the old bell end. They're getting the Kinte treatment. Western Kinte. Also predator heritage. Never met one kunta in my life. You can't name your kids kunta. No, you can't name them that. Oh my, look at the chem here off the coast of Bethany Bitch there in Delaware. What's it said? What did Delaware? New Jersey. Dad jokes. Dads. Grandpa's matter. See the different colors of the ice is up in the high atmosphere? So that chemical is different that made the ice. Because it's refracting light differently. It's puffing something. They're in the sky and they're puffing stuff that you are then breathing up. In the sky, then you puffing stuff. Look at the chemtrails here. Chemtrail, 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 Bangor, Maine, Troy. Hi, have it. Has some toxins. Has some toxins. That's not the kind of aurora I quite like to watch. And lately, I've been finding the aurora to be scary to watch with all the different kinds of chemicals I see emitting photons in the atmosphere's excitations of the magnetosphere, like almost like somebody's running auroral research programs in the high atmosphere. It's right. HARP, auroral research going on. See it explain a lot of the different colors. Look at the bomb field here in the microwave matrix. So you can see the that. And you're welcome to already explain this. Oh, we got more people typing yet? No. Hey, when you finally can make comments, you don't make comments. Or should I say when I can finally see comments? Chemtrail, but yet microwaves as well. You got a thin haze of cirrus going over the top of it. See the ripply bits? Like sticking your fork on top of the cake, making a line. And then Bill Gates advertises his Bill and Melinda Gates funded by cloud formation. There's subliminal advertising in the sky should never be allowed. There's laws against that. Here's the chem bomb showing up straight up. Let's see what other places of interest we have in the world. Where I could just come from space to say, here's an example of marine cloud brightening out here in the Pacific. Yeah, marine cloud brightening. California, no doubt about it. So I see you got some clear skies. That's always nice to see. Mount Shasta. And some farms. It's nice to see you're not on fire. Yeah, it's my most pleasant thing to see, because boy, are they firing up Canada. I can put on the fire data, if I could find it here. Again, the flashing lights, you gotta look at me. Let me see if we can find, add layers, fires, thermal anomalies. All right, let's see what we got going on with the fires. All right, finally getting some time to, there's a lot of fires in the world right now. And thermal anomalies. I repeat that. Something that gets hot suddenly. Missile tracking, thermal anomaly. If you farted hot enough, it would show up on worldview. Honest to God. Right. Now, you see very, very big formations of dots here that would be indicative of a grid. Oh, come on. Are you guys doing a back burn here? That's a grid. Or then go down that road, Mac. So that's a purposeful. Border lines, roads, borders. You ain't got no roads there. That's a grid. It's more random. Are they all 2 miles apart? You guys could get on here and do that. It does look, some of these do look very samey. That's not as obvious a grid as the other one. Well, come on, evenly spaced fires. You don't find that to be dodgy? I do. Well, it looks geometric to me. Lots of chemtrails going here for, of course, high level. You know, they doing scheduled back burns. We'll just do that one in an arc. That's not exact. You got a lot of fires. Wind's blowing that way. You poor folks. It's choking them all out, burning the land. And who tells the animals that it's coming when they decide to have a back burner, as according to their excuses? Who shakes the tree before these new tree cutters come along and just rip it up by the roots all at once without warning to the animals? Who is going to stop that from happening? We are. It's in an arc of evenly spaced dots. I think a lot of these fires are being done on purpose. That's what I think. I'm allowed to have an opinion. This is so evenly spaced. Kilometer. A little more than a kilometer later. It's not going to be exact. It's 1.12, right? It's the same distance between those two. It's equilateral. Add more to it again. It's too convenient. And well, even these here, do. They're wanting something there. It's obvious. They're burning you out. And that smoke was all up in the polar regions now. It's all circulating around. What a shame. What an absolute shame. Along the lines of the roads are working. And where else in the world being set on fire? Would you like to see the Amazon? Can't tell me all that's back burning. In line of a highway. You'll see the patterns when you zoom out. Because I want some insurance too. It isn't fair. I know they burn things sometimes in crops and all that sometimes when they're harvesting. But some of this is a bit ridiculous. If not, look at Africa. You want to be complaining about Canada burning. Well, what's up with all that? Or has everybody got campfire on right now? And every one of those is going to get picked up. Which is possible. And manufacturers and stuff, they suddenly see a fire go up. Suddenly somebody's staying warm. But when you look at the dots, they're very evenly spaced. It's very even. And I do think the scorched earth policy is very evident in today's data right here. Well, that's very equal. Now, all the if this is on fire from here to here, and then here to here, and here to here, and here to here, where do the animals in the center get to go? Where do they get to go? To be safe. This is unacceptable. When I see a box in a fires. And it's not just one spot. And they kill all the animals here in that square. Kill all the animals in this one here. Because they didn't tell them. There's no way for them to get out of there. Right? And if they're not there, and there's nothing endangered to be protected, and the corporation just rapes the land. And to me, this is one of the saddest sights that I have to hold inside myself as I look at my burning world. And it is. The world's on fire. So you go on, tell me more, Canada. Tell me more about your walls when I see this burdens going on. Right. Hope you enjoyed the show. We got to rein this in. Let's pour that policy of burning 4 out like that, and there's nowhere for the animals to go. It's very disheartening. All right. I'll be back on here in a bit. I got to have sale today. Today's, come on, wrench Monday. Grocery bag needed. So we'll be having a sale. Or if you feel like donating directly, paypal.me/Robert Deutsch. You do not get in trouble for using PayPal. It's a very safe and secure system, actually, because nobody ever sees your details. And you got to flash your card to get on it, usually. Some of the new ones weren't very happy. So if I don't jump off here, I never will. Because it's just a sky crane. It's been never ending. And the fires are bad. And I can see it in Australia too, believe me. But it's the time of year I expect to see them in the far north. But I don't expect to see them like the grids I was showing you in Canada and things like that. But like you got one here. But I'm assuming it's a backburn. Right, this is Australia. And it's over between Lightning Ridge, right over there. You know where. The middle of nowhere. And it could be just being done for cultivation reasons even. When I zoom in, I see these straight lines. And I said, I know you got fried and bombed. So, y'all stay safe. Yeah, I've given you your forecast already and what you can expect. Okay? Big love. Peace.